So let's talk Lumebox for a few minutes.
Okay.
Is that good with you?
Let's go.
All right. So tomorrow, something very special comes. I can't announce how much until tomorrow, right?
Keep it under wraps until then, but it's pretty good.
Pretty good something coming tomorrow. So we wanted to get on and just talk a little bit about the Lumebox. What is the Lumebox, Jamie?
Well, it's this handheld personal red light device. Have you heard of red light before?
Oh, look, I have one too. We're twinning. We like to do things together. So this is it. So I did some red light this morning on my face, actually. But let's talk about what red light is.
Okay.
How long has it been around? Any ideas?
I think a pretty long time. I'm going to guess a few decades at least.
You are correct. It actually started with astronauts used to use it with NASA.
Wow.
Unbelievably, because they wanted their plants to grow. Because who doesn't want their plants to grow in space? So, which is kind of random, but they're like, oh, well, I'm in space, I need a plant, so we need a red light.
Because they need some fresh oxygen up there.
I guess that's what they were using it for. So, with all that being said, it's been around a long time. Lots of research on red light therapy. And the cool thing about red light, because it's been around so long, it's developed into better avenues of getting red light.
Yes, there's a lot of different ways you can get red light. And not all red lights are actually created equal, which I think we'll probably talk about. But one of the ways that red light has been shown very beneficial and productive, actually, maybe you know this, I'm sure you do, is in traumatic brain injuries for service members. And they treat it with red light, and they have quite a few studies out there showing the remarkable improvement for traumatic brain injury. So that's pretty
That is so
interesting
cool. That's
fact
going
about
down
the red
to
light.
my speech pathology roots.
Yes.
I started off in a traumatic brain injury unit my first year.
Oh, wow.
I sure
had no
did.
idea.
Yeah. So wear your helmets
Yeah.
when you have bicycles and things that you think you're safe on, because those are most of the people that I saw were kids and adults that had had biking accidents. It was in a rehab facility. But anyway, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Traumatic brain injury. I heard some really cool stuff about even Parkinson's and some other neurological things with red light. I can't speak to it personally because I haven't seen it myself, but we're dealing with the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of all your cells. So it actually doesn't just give you red light. People say it makes you happy. It does kind of make you happy.
It really does. It is a mood booster.
It is
That's
a
for
mood
sure.
booster. Yeah. So what we love and what we just wanted to kind of touch on today is kind of the different types of red light. I should have probably gotten my other two red lights. I have two other red lights, but the Lumebox is my absolute favorite. This little handheld guy I travel with everywhere. You travel with yours too, right?
Yep. We take it everywhere. The whole family fights over it.
Now, your age kids are different than mine. So mine are grown. I can't tell them what to do anymore.
Yes.
But
my little kids are 8, 10, and 12, and they've been using the red light Lumebox for several years now. Even my 8-year-old requests to use it anytime she wants to use it every day. But anytime she's not feeling well, she has a tummy ache, if they're sick, if they just feel like they're not sleeping well, like all those things, the red light is the first thing that they ask for, especially during flu season. It's also great for my oldest who has myopia, which is a condition with her eyes. Actually, red light's very beneficial for treating myopia. Low levels of red light morning and night can actually help slow down the damage that's being done to her vision.
Huh. Tell us more about how she uses it when she treats for her eyes.
So she doesn't wear goggles or anything like that. She just keeps it probably right about here, and she doesn't look straight at it. She just does it while she's got, she's reading or laying in bed or anything like that. So because she exposes herself to red light so frequently, they're not sensitive to it. However, of course, if you're new and you're just learning about red light, you can wear the eye goggles and protect your eyes a little bit more, use a sleeping mask. But once you're used to red light, it really doesn't.
Well, what's funny about that you say that, so my husband is super sensitive to it. We've had red light for a long time. He will not be in the same room even when the red light's on. He is that sensitive to it, which is very interesting. I have never worn goggles.
I have never worn them either.
Now, there are studies that are showing now even that it may be good for eye health, but there's not enough studies out there for me to recommend anybody look directly into the red light.
Yeah.
I don't think that's smart. Just like you wouldn't sit and stare directly into the sun, right?
Yes.
It's interesting because I've heard lots of people say, well, I have a face red light mask that I wear. And I've heard such conflicting things about that. And the reason I always stick with the Lumebox is because I can adjust how far it is from the face. And some of the red lights that are masked don't have the same setup as far as the way the lights are apart from each other. So sometimes you'll see when somebody has a red light mask on, if you were to look through it, it's dotting this area, this area, this area, this area, where this, I feel like, is a more targeted,
more continuous
light beam. It's not just little dots all over my face, right?
Plus, it's near infrared.
Right. And you can do
infrared.
near infrared and you can do red light. Do you know the differences between those?
I do.
You want to talk about that?
Well, your near infrared is going to penetrate much deeper than your red light. So the red light is getting basically superficial things, like if you have a lesion on your face or a cut on your face, things like that. But if
A wrinkle.
A wrinkle, yes.
She has no wrinkles yet. She's too young.
Well, that's because I use the red light.
Yeah, that's right.
But the NIR or the near red light is going to penetrate deeper, like your muscles, through your skin. So if you have something going on, like with your stomach, pains, cramps, great for cramps, then that's when you would want to shuffle.
Also great for if you've been weightlifting, which I have been doing in my recent weeks. It's very good for the healing of not being so sore after you work out. It doesn't have to be weightlifting. It can be anything. And what I do love about this is, you really only need it once a day. You could do it twice a day if you wanted, but you could also target treatments. So you're doing like your face at first, and then you might be doing your leg, then you might be doing something else. This is not going to cover your whole body. And I do have a red light that does do, if I were sitting in this chair right now, it would get my whole body. I kind of like targeting where I want it.
That is nice.
Yes. And one thing that I just learned on one of the recent red light courses I took was putting the red light here when you go to bed, prop it up, and just put it behind your neck. It is like coma inducing.
I did try that the other night, and I did fall asleep before the red light cycle was even finished.
Yeah.
It's
really
pretty
kind of
wild.
freaky.
Yeah, it
honestly.
was. I fell right asleep.
Yeah, I told the last red light call that I had, a Q&A, I told somebody to do that. And literally the next day, I'll have to pull up the text while you're talking about something. She was like, I cannot believe this. I've had the best night's sleep I've ever had.
Wow.
And I think with all of the natural modalities that I've done over time, like anything, the more you use it, the more you're going to benefit from it.
True.
So some people get a red light and they'll use it for a week and then they just kind of forget about it. I've been guilty some days, missing a couple of days, but then I'm like, what's going on? I need to get my red light. So how are you with consistency of doing it?
Pretty consistent, I'd say. I think that what I will say as a mom, I probably need to get a second one because my family's always using it first and I want them to get the benefits before me. My husband is very consistent and uses it every night. He has hair loss from stress, and so he puts the red light right here every night for at least one session. And I really think that is helping promote his growth, that he has lost his hair from stress as a Marine. And so he's very consistent with it. My kids are very consistent with it. And I'd say I use it at least 5 days a week. So
Do you, when he does it for the hairline, does he do the red light and the NIR?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you
So-
pretty much do both all the time,
Well,
at least for us.
yes, that's what I was
There's
doing
no-
initially. And then I've started reading more just about NIR. And the good thing about the near infrared, if you don't use the red light, they say that if you use red light, you really should probably put it not directly on your skin if you want the most benefit. But the NIR, you can put directly there. And so what I will do sometimes, I have something going on with my right hip, and I will just set it completely on there just with the NIR. Not that the red light's going to hurt it necessarily, but I don't really need that treatment. So Lumebox has red light and near infrared, where some other machines don't have both. So you can, there's a little button on the side. You see if I push the first one, that's just NIR. You can't really see those lights. I mean, you can see them a little bit, right? But then I push it again, and that's the red light. Now you can see that.
And Lumebox says, when in doubt, use both.
Right.
So it just really, like Dana said,
Yeah.
just really,
It doesn't hurt you. It's up
it's
to
not
you.
going to hurt you.
And let me show you the little box that it comes in. So this is the Lumebox, and it comes with this fun carrying case. So it has the charger and then also the goggles that have probably never been worn. Well, actually, that's not true. Not worn by me. My husband wears them. This is the little hook that you get. You can put, actually, you can slide that on the back. I think this is yours, right? Have you ever used this?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't
You
either.
can totally use it,
But people can use it. Some people say, oh, I like holding it, like this. Quite frankly, I'm lazy and my hand gets tired after 6 to 12 minutes, however, whatever cycle you want to do. And I'm not going to hold it. I'm going to prop mine up. Mine's been propped up in all kinds of crazy ways.
Or the stand. If you have
Yeah,
the stand,
I do have-
the
yeah.
stand is also helpful too if
Yeah.
you don't want to hold it.
I definitely have a stand upstairs, but forgot to bring that down. The stand is wonderful. So right now, basically, Jaymie and I both have links for the Lumebox that you can always get it from us at 35% off, 40% off.
I think it's close to 40% off always.
Yeah. So it's $6.29 typically, and you can always, any day, even when there's not a sale, buy it from us for $260 off, something like that. So, but if you hang tight and get on our email list, you'll see that it comes up, and it might be having some kind of a little sale coming up for a couple of days. So, what would you say to people who are nervous about, it's a big investment. I mean, it's $300 almost.
I would say that if you have FSA or HSA funds, you could start there and use your card that's associated or your account that's associated with that, because they do accept. So it is a qualifying purchase, which I like to think about. I also would say that if you were to go to a clinic and get some red light treatments, I think 1 or 2 treatments would probably cost you close to $400. I would say those sessions are not budget friendly typically. So this is something that when you think about the daily use, more of like a kind of like, investing in an espresso machine instead of going to Starbucks. It's more upfront, but you're not spending $10 on coffee every day.
Right.
Because you've got it at home.
Well, and it's something that you can use to, in my opinion, it's so versatile.
Yes.
Right?
The whole family.
The whole family can use it. And honestly, our neighbor just borrowed it for like 3 weeks the other day because I happen to have 2 of them. And I do let people try it. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to buy one. It was helping with some scarring that she had. So I will say I am really consistent as long as I can see my Lumebox.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
the
a good.
second I
Yeah.
put it out of my sight, like when we travel, if I don't get it out of my travel stuff,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes I forget. But I'm pretty consistent every morning, even when I'm going through my Bible study and just reading in the morning and having my quiet time. I'll take 6 minutes and I'll just do a red light treatment on my face. It's like my little time to wake up. And, you know, if you can't afford to do a red light, I would highly, highly, highly recommend, if you can manage to get up when the sun comes up. Those first few minutes of sunlight and daylight is what helps your circadian rhythm, and it helps your serotonin production and everything as well. So, and then even dusk, right when the sun is setting, if you can just use that as an excuse for your husband to take you to watch a sunset by the bay or somewhere in the mountains or somewhere beautiful, that's also a great way to get benefits of red light.
It's a great tip.
Think there's anything else we need to say?
No, I think it's just once you have it and you start using it, you'll start to really see the benefits. I've had people that have come back and purchased multiple because they like to use, especially elderly, really enjoy the benefits that have arthritis or a hard time.
Pain. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention pain relief.
My husband had several surgeries this last year. He had his appendix out and he red lighted his incisions for several hours a day. And when he went back for his follow-up, his surgeon said he's never seen incisions close so quickly and look so good. He couldn't believe it and asked, what have you been doing? What did you do? And he said, well, of course I was red lighting. And so that is, you know, one thing that not only was it pain relief, but it actually helped close the wound up. So wound healing is one thing. My mom is a hairdresser and she works in a nail salon with other nail people and hairdressers. And they all fell in love with the red light. So they all got red lights because their feet hurt at the end of the day and their backs hurt. And they love their red light when they go home.
It is shocking how much it helps with pain. I have a friend who had trigger finger and she was treating, I say treating lightly, take that back, rewind, because we're not supposed to say treat, that's a medical term. Although this is a medical device, but I'm not a medical professional. So she was targeting her trigger finger with red light and it helped tremendously.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Also magnesium helps with that a lot.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just think there's not really a use that I couldn't imagine not using it for.
Headaches are
Period wonderful.
Cramps.
Yeah.
I mean, really any kind of cramps.
And you know, it's interesting, even if you do the red light on your face and you have stomach cramps, it can even help with that. You don't necessarily have to put it right there. And what I would say is everybody's different. Every single person responds differently. Some people are like, I can only do the red light for a couple of minutes. I will say, if you are just starting to do red light, start with shorter sessions. You know, try it for 5 minutes at first. It has a 12-minute timer.
I think it's 15 now. Is it 15 now? It's 12 or 15.
Yeah, something like
the newer ones are longer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
anyway, around 12, 13 minutes. But yeah, I would say go for it.
Let us know what questions you have.
Yeah.
Contact Dana or myself if you have any questions.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think of the Lumebox if you have one.
Yeah, that'd be great. Y'all have a great rest of your day and have fun doing red light.
Happy 4th of July.
Bye.